Sonic Boom Comic Issue 4. Eggman shows up, surprising the heroes in a mecha, and Knuckles spits milk on Tails because of it in a failed attempt to be funny that made no sense. Eggman complains about the heroes leaving him standing on the beach an hour ago for a battle. Sonic breaks the fourth wall unnecessarily. Eggman is sad that they forgot their battle and says that he sent them all birthday cards. Oh good, it's pointed out that they were actually bombs. That would have been seriously out of character for him otherwise. After all of that pointless padding, he sends missiles after the heroes, with Tails looking really scared and dripping wet for some weird reason. Am I supposed to find these random civilians entertaining? Who cares? Sonic gets sent away by a spring from the mecha, and Tails avoids some lasers looking scared. Amy will probably get humiliated too, right? Predictable. She avoids some lasers herself looking scared. I like that the characters are being one-upped and humiliated to make Eggman a competent threat after all of that nonsense. Knuckles puts an umbrella over his head because he thinks it'll protect him from being stomped on by the foot of the mecha. Because we needed more forced comedy humiliating his entire character again. Styx briefly eats off the ground because forced comedy before saying that she has the ultimate weapon, which was forged by a blue hedgehog and an echidna in cloaks. I hope this is based on actual lore. It's supposed to be a great relic, but it looks like just a rock. She better be right about this to be super useful. You don't have to try making Styx act like this. An insane character is the definition of lazy comedy in writing, even if she is entertaining, because nothing she does has to make sense. I feel like that's cheating. Eggman should have been attacking them while she was blathering on. This isn't funny. At least Amy patronizing her gives away that the predictable twist is going to be that Styx is right. She looks sad because she was just trying to help, and because Eggman feels so insulted, he wants to just leave even though he was doing really well. This is so stupid. Also, speaking of stupid, Cubot breaks the fourth wall for no reason. Anyways, Eggman decides to stay after all, so all of that was worthless padding too. Why all these worthless panels with Styx talking about the rock? Tails gets hit away by a robot, as I really wonder why Styx thinks the normal looking rock is so awesome. This is so forced at the very foundation. Tails generates lightning that's solid just so Sonic can be carried around and thrown in spin dash form at Eggman's cockpit. I guess that's supposed to be the Enter Beam? How can lightning from Tails' hands be solid? Electrons that are mashed together really tightly to make solid matter? Is that even possible? Wouldn't that just electrocute him anyways? And if he can do that, why doesn't he just throw lightning all the time like a lightning kitsune? Amy gets spun around by Knuckles, who looks like he has only one arm in one panel. Best artist ever. And Amy just gets swatted away by the tennis racket. Styx then throws a rock, and it bounces off so many different things that it, after a brief reality ensues subversion, completely destroys the mecha. This is so stupid. Why do people think Flynn is a good writer? This is so stupid. It's supposed to be funny, but if it's not funny, then it's just stupid. I like that Styx thought the rock was super hot to her touch after all that. But then reality stops ensuing as it stopped being hot just so she could hold it over her head again. This is so dumb. It's not clearly established that the rock really was magical with that kind of lore to it. It's just a rock that bounced off a lot of things because I guess Styx threw it with super strength. Knuckles amusingly wants the rock's autograph as her friends congratulate her. Even though that was forced too because he shouldn't think the rock is able to give him an autograph. It doesn't have any hands. And Styx thinks just from listening to the rock that it already used up all of its power fighting Eggman. Okay, so it's canon. She's schizophrenic. Because if she wasn't hearing voices in her head, she wouldn't have heard a voice from that rock. They go out of their way to humor her in the stupidity, giving it a funeral, only for her to throw away the rock into a pile with the rest of them. Going from super sad to not caring at all because more bad writing. What kind of writing is this? If she has a pile, why didn't she use them? Why were her friends acting like she was behaving like that with a rock for the first time? Why this rock in the plot and not the others? Eggman insists on mentioning the word issues again. And the story ends with lazily referencing an SC1 line in a pathetic attempt to be charming with just that, without us even seeing what he's referring to. What an amazing amount of effort put into the writing. Also, the obnoxiously unfunny, scary thing text can go fuck itself. This issue was by Ian Flynn, and it sucked. Again. Well, at least the review wasn't a million years long this time. Styx had absolutely no reason to assume the rock was anything other than a rock, other than her having auditory hallucinations of something that's not there. See? She is crazy. It would have been perfectly fine, awesome even, if the rock was magical and started glowing with the yellow light to destroy the mecha, like how Amy's hammer was super magical, and maybe it could be established that she can sense that kind of chaos energy to be more useful. Like, she could be a descendant of a tribal priestess because she's a jungle dweller. Instead, it was a dumb joke for a very predictable twist where after all that time of the hero struggling against mecha and some robots, a rock saves the day. It's such lazy writing. It's a shame because I really approve of Eggman being a proper threat by giving the heroes a really hard time. This is how you write action scenes properly, aside from that rock Chekhov's gun. But there's so much worthless padding in a failed attempt to be funny. Like the entire beginning, which just humiliates Eggman's character because he's treated so dismissively, and Eggman thinking of leaving in a huff when he was clearly mopping the floor with the heroes. They turned him into a parody of himself. And any fan of Eggman should agree. I look back at Robotnik and Sadie M, Archie, and Fleetway, and then I look at him in more modern stuff like this, and all I can think is, what have they done to this character? Whether it's this, or Lego Dimensions, or the Sonic games in general, Paso 6. It's sad that him fighting the heroes with a mecha and robots is considered noteworthy and a brilliant idea for a plot, when even I could write a fanfiction like that, because it's a super easy way to give the hero something actiony to do. It's the laziest plot ever because it's so generic. Is he gonna do anything in this comic other than attacking with the same mech over and over again? And then the rock thing is just there in a sad attempt to spice things up.